Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Sorry, buddy.
We're back to do one of our favorite things, and that is cover a Bravo reality TV show. New to the channel as far as coverage, this is Southern Charm. This is the season 9 premiere, Vows, Vendettas, and Vibrators. Make sure you like and subscribe here and on TikTok. As far as Bravo stuff, we said we're big on Vanderpump. We're going to be covering Below Deck. Really think anything out in that realm, we cover it. Brian and I just binged 8 seasons of Southern Charm to get ready for this. We figured, we're big on Vanderpump. We probably like this. I'm really glad we did. I love the show. I think they're
Same.
all terrible people, and that's exactly why it's great. They're all also make really bad decisions, which is great. Definitely gonna do some other videos, maybe just retrospective on the series. A lot of people I'd love to talk about that just aren't around anymore,
Yeah,
but
I know. Yeah.
we are at the task at hand. Season 9 premiere. As is every season of Southern Charm, we did get one of those. This is where we're heading, and we're gonna flash you back a few months. This one's Austen and Taylor obviously had sex. They've obviously hooked up. It seems like we're gonna find out the timeline. It probably was very close to after the breakup with Shep. I'm curious before or after the season 8 reunion. That would be very interesting. But besides the tease that we got, if you just didn't know anything and you were just watching it without that fast forward, the amount of times that she name drops Austen
Yeah.
and really is like Austen, 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 and like the arm rubs and everything, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Brian, what was your reaction when you saw that?
Um See, like you told me months ago before we started watching the show, and I just completely forgot because I've just been like a sponge watching the show like 7 or 8 hours a day. But yeah, when she mentioned him, like, oh, he's the only one that stood up, he's the only one that stood up for me, it's like foreshadowing. And they just all this show is so weird how they just all don't care if they get with their exes or friends, and it's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, but see, now that's what's happening now. That's like they all call it like the Peter Pan syndrome for the guys, but it's very much like a college group of friends bubble where,
Yeah.
like, at the end of the day, the incest or whatever you want to call it, the trading of partners and stuff is
Friend
all
stuff.
good. It's very, like, again, it's very Southern. It's very like British of them, right? It would be like, Elisa, just don't bring it up. It's sloppy. If it's something sloppy, just leave it be. It happened, and like, let's not, if we keep talking about it, it's gonna keep coming up. If we don't talk about it, we can all just live our lives, right? That's like how, Miss, what's it, Pam, the mom, Whitney's mom,
Trisha.
Patricia, like how Miss Patricia, like that's how she's gotten around. It's always just like, you know what? I don't want the trash around me. Even if I'm trashy, I'm not going to bring up the trash. So, like, just keep it away. And that wedding scene is the antithesis of exactly how they all decide and have picked how they want to live. She is just burning down the house. Like, she comes after Craig. She talks about how shitty Shep is, screaming at a party, talking about how no one had her back, name dropping Austen so many times, and then making the snide comment to Craig, well, how about your girlfriend cheating on you? That must
Right.
be a rumor we don't know about, right? But like, that just broke everything of like how you're supposed to, and I'm not saying it's right, but like, this is like a Vanderpump situation now. Like, this, they're not going to be able to go back from some of the stuff it looks like this season.
No, I agree. And I always find it funny that like they are like, oh, I'm gonna invite Austin to my wedding, engagement, or whatever party. And it's like they were definitely told to do this. Like they never would invite these people. There's like a cast list every season. They're like, all right, these people need to go. Um, so I don't know. They're so awkward. The guy, I don't know how these guys, they're older than us, right?
They're like our age. Well, Shep's older than us,
Shep's older, but
obviously.
I
I
think
think
I
the
thought
guys like Craig and
Austin's
Austin
like
are like our
35,
age.
right?
Yeah, they're like our age, basically.
They're just dopes, man. Watching them, especially like since what Bill and I just did, we watched it so many episodes. They're just even their evolution. They don't evolve.
No.
They like devolve.
Well, you can tell a lot of the characters devolved over time. One character seems to be on a semi upswing again, Craig. Financially, well, Craig, Craig's just go goofy. But the problem with Craig is Craig always picks the wrong partners. And I'm sorry, like, I think, what is it? Is it Paige?
Page, yeah.
I, from the moment that she appeared like a few seasons ago or whatever, it's like she lives in New York and you live in Charleston. You don't want to live in Charleston and she wants to live in New York. You don't want to live in New York. You're going to end up breaking up.
Right.
And this is like what we're seeing now because push is coming to shove. And frankly, like she's a little iffy to me too. Like again, I just always have something. I always feel a little weird. These people definitely could see this show and see this group of friends, and like, why would you even get involved with a guy and you're not even living there? Like, what do you? None of you are going to change these people.
Yeah, and it's like, did they watch the show?
No, they didn't.
Is that would surprise me because I know you don't like Craig. I'm not a huge fan of Craig either, but if you hold him up to the other guys, he might be the best guy. He's the
I
number one
don't.
guy in the group.
I disliked how Craig would react to things.
Yeah, no,
Again, remember,
he's
guys,
man baby.
we did 8 seasons, so we just got a lot of Craig. Like, I just don't think he stood up for himself in the right way during things.
He stands up for the things he shouldn't stand up for, and then he doesn't stand up for the things that he should stand up for.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, every time he's drunk too, he just
Well,
all of them do it. Austen just does the exact same thing where they just like they take everything so personally.
and take
They don't
everything.
take it personally when they're hooking up with each other's like friends, and they're like, it's whatever. And it's like,
it's like when you're fighting, and this again, it's like say you're fighting with like your wife or a partner, right? And it can be about like a major issue. And listen, we all do this. I know I'll do this too. You won't the disagreement won't be about like the content. It'll be the semantics, right?
yeah,
It'll be like you always do, always, right? And like
right.
all of a sudden, it's not about the actual fight.
Yeah.
And that's exactly with them, right?
Yeah.
They always fight over trying to catch someone on like a misspeak, right? Or like a data point. Like it wasn't 10 times, it was 7 times.
Yeah, right.
F you. And it's like, yeah, you still cheated, you still hooked up my girlfriend 7 times, man. Like, like that's what they'll end up fighting about. And Craig does that a lot of times too. He also makes those dramatic statements like, I hate you guys, I don't want to be your friends anymore, I don't like you. And then the next morning calls them and it's like, I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, and that's like more the guy, like, jeez. Yeah, it's if I was just, I always think when I'm watching these shows, like, what if I was on this show and I would just not talk to anybody. Like if they're like, oh, Maddie, I'd be like, whatever. Like I didn't do anything.
Yeah, see you at the
like,
next cocktail party.
Yeah, right. I'll see you at Patricia's house. I'll see you like when Whitney has like his party at some club that he's friends with, or
when Whitney
like
brings you to one of his other heiress friends to hang out with for the weekend, like whatever hotels they own or whatever the case is.
It's so funny. The people I didn't like in the beginning, like I actually like Whitney annoyed me. I thought it was weird. Now I don't. I like
Whitney's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. Michael's still number one. Hope he's doing all right. He's definitely he's like number one.
Special shout out to new butler Randy.
Yeah.
New butler Randy in the house. We didn't get any speaking lines really from Randy other than a going around the trash can, but I'm looking forward to seeing if he's got Michael game. Like I said,
he had some lines last season.
What?
He had some lines last season. He was making old fashions.
Was he? It said
Randy. It said there was one episode where he's like, do you want? Yeah, it was like very brief. Right. I mean, he didn't have the Michael level where he has like Michael had jokes, man.
Michael was a goat.
I was sad when he
riding Rolls Royces into McDonald's.
Remember when I texted you? I was like sad.
Listen, shout out to Michael, the goat character of Southern Charm. Like I might want to go to Butler School, frankly. It seems like a nice old person job. I might be my good job right now, frankly.
I would love to know what the like pay is. What's the time off? Like, what are the benefits?
What was his quarters like? What were his hours of operation? Like, when did he get off at night? Right? Like,
yeah, because I mean, Patricia is. I mean, it's that would be a tough job.
Patricia's a robber baron.
Yeah.
With the chairs from last season that were like 25 grand a piece, and they broke.
I haven't glued them yet, or restored them. Why'd you buy them?
Also, Patricia not being the QVC queen. That's Craig. That I did like that. I did like Craig's little come up last season against that, where she was trashing it, and he's like, yeah, well, that business closed. Yes. Real quick, other shout outs. Really, we talked about Craig and Paige. We had Austen a little bit, obviously outside of the speculation. He did get to see Olivia. That obviously didn't end well. And the one thing I do want to bring back up about the Taylor stuff, and it made me think about when I brought up Olivia, is like, if they've already hooked up at this point, man, all of these conversations are going to look so much worse, right? Like all the crap talking she was doing about Shep and Austen to Olivia, right? Like all these, it's like, did you already bang this dude? Like, the answer is definitely yes. We saw the arm rub, right? Would you be shocked if they had done it by this point?
If they didn't do it yet, it would be like within the next 2 weeks.
because of like how
because like now like Craig yelled at her and all this stuff, and there's only one person like we'll have to see what the next episode like. Maybe Austin's like, hey, you know how they call and FaceTime each other and be like,
yeah.
what happened last night? And maybe that stems into like a coffee
Like they went
meetup.
like
Yeah,
yeah
like if
they
it didn't happen yet, it's
rendezvoused.
gonna happen very soon, I would think.
It seems like though too, which is interesting, and I think it's actually almost good for this show now, is because as they've gotten older, I think there is more time in between like the events and episodes, right? Because they all do
Right.
have like lives, probably harder to get them all together. So like it allows for things to actually develop. Like I think a
Yeah.
lot of earlier seasons, things were happening like the day after, the
Yeah,
day
within
after.
days, man. Like an
Yeah,
episode was like 2 episodes was like 2 days. I did enjoy that though. I thought it was funny that it was like, oh, they're just partying. Like I totally understand that. I can relate to
yeah.
that lifestyle.
Um, Last thing I will bring up is the fact that we do have a cast member gone. We no longer have Kathryn. I did
Good.
a little bit of digging. Kathryn is, I think Kathryn gave us a lot of content. So, and Kathryn will be a character I will always remember in my reality TV history, her and Thomas Ravenel. But turns out the reason she was sacked was apparently she was really shitty to the behind the scenes people at all times, was really difficult to deal with, and no showed a bunch of like recordings and things during the last season that made it more difficult on the show. And so they said, forget it. And so she's gone.
I absolutely hated her.
She was a
I
tough.
think
She
she
was tough.
sucked. She's like a terrible person. I know like she went through a ton of people did terrible things to her.
Yeah, she was a
I
victim
could
for sure
not
to
stand
start.
watching her though. Like just her like in a conversation where she clearly did something wrong and like you see the wheels turning in her head. She's like, well, you made me feel bad. And it's like
Could you
I
imagine
could I
us like
could not stand her.
could you imagine us if we though had been covering the show like live during season one? Me and you would have been screaming at the top of our lungs, like, "Will anyone please help this poor
Yeah,
girl?
I
She was
know. I
21
agree.
years old. Where are your parents? Where is everybody? Like, what? You're letting this 55-year-old man just like take her."
Oh, I completely agree. Like she definitely got taken advantage of, but just didn't do anything further. Like I don't know. I don't know.
I agree. I agree.
I couldn't stand her.
All
And
right.
there's a couple other characters like I don't like is it Venetia? Is that her name?
Yeah.
I can't stand her either. She annoys me. I hate Shep. We didn't really talk that much about Shep, but I can't stand Shep. He's a
I don't think
terrible
it's
human
Thomas
being.
Ravenel
Yeah, I just
with
think
less
he's a
money
loser. Like he's just if he wasn't tall, no one want to be with him.
and
He's just
had
as
has
tall and has
$5
money.
million in the bank.
He's an absolute loser. I will say there's one dude that I don't recognize that is on the
The
cast
short
because he's on
king
the picture. Yeah, with the suit, he just stands
bodying
up.
Austen.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
I did read that. I don't know if that was him. I think the more tan guy, like the Spanish looking dude or whatever, they did mention that there was one guy that's like been in their circle like this whole time, it just hasn't been like on
Yeah,
camera. It may be him.
yep.
The short king guy though, I think I would hate him in any other situation other than he's just bodying all these big baby boys.
No, yeah. When he just stands up and is like, "Yo, Shep, you're the oldest dude here. Like, grow up." I was like, "Yes!" Can't wait for that scene. Cannot wait to see the context of that scene.
They're not gonna. They're just gonna yell and walk away. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's just what they do.
yeah. Dude, you're insane. Have you
He's
ever
Lord
noticed?
Farquaad.
Yeah, because you know how many seasons that we watch, they say you're insane, you're crazy all the time in all of their
He
interactions with people. Have you noticed
he's like
that
a short version of what's his name? Our boy that was only on the one season. I liked him though, the dad, the single dad.
on this show?
On Southern Charm, the single dad had the two little boys. He was
Oh, Pringle.
Pringle. John Pringle. I liked Pringle. But he was on last season. Like he
Yeah,
appeared,
no,
but
he was demoted to friend. I looked
they
at
said his
Wikipedia
job,
how
it
they
was his
classify
job too.
people.
He's an energy trader for
Yeah,
like a stock thing. So they were like, I think they told him that like they didn't want him doing that anymore. It was like a family business.
he was
So
like a poor man's Dan Blitzerian.
I like Pringle. I like that he just admitted that he wasn't parenting his kids when they were there. He's like, yeah, it's fun camp. What do you want me to do? Like, I'm not like the kids were like,
The people on the show that you can relate to more, the people that don't hide their issues or the things they do wrong. And he was one of those people, at
yeah,
least to us, the appearing. He didn't try to big himself up like all these other people do. Like they never think they do anything wrong.
no. Well, of course they don't. All right, cool. I think that we covered pretty well here. Get a little insight into our history with the show. Again, please like and subscribe here on TikTok. Appreciate everyone joining for this. We had a little bit of a lull for 2 weeks. Reality TV hit a little bit of a break spot, but the fall is going to be crazy. Next week is preview week for the reality guys. We'll have season previews of about 5 to 6 different shows dropping in the fall, along with the continuing coverage of Southern Charm, Big Brother, The Challenge, USA season 2, as well as a few associated shows. We have other Netflix shows. Love is Blind is coming back. Survivor, Amazing Race, The
I think Love
Golden
is Blind
Bachelor,
is
Bachelor
next
in
week.
Paradise,
I
The
think Love
House
is
of
Blind is next
Villains.
week. Is Love is Blind next week?
Yeah, Love is Blind is like next
Yeah, and
Friday
then
or
The
Thursday.
Bachelor is Love and Hip Hop, F Boy Island.
A lot of
Buckle
stuff,
up.
guys. So if you thought that we were gone, sorry, we're back, and we will be blowing up your YouTube channel. So until next time, for myself and Brian, thank you. Peace.